Okay, this is just a quick video. If you remember how, so if you go to Gemini in n8n and you go to message a model, okay, you'll notice that you have this option down here of Deep Research Pro Preview. So if you select this, so let's just select it right here, okay, and let's put a set node here. We'll just create something called input, and we'll say teach me everything about Cloudbot, for example, okay, and I connect this here, and I say that I want the, hold on, let me run this, and I say that I want the input to be this, okay. So if I execute this step, you see we get an error. Model only supports API interaction, which means you have to use an API. We need to use a HTTP request node to actually call this model. This is a very useful thing to be able to do because you can automate the deep research part of everything, which is great. So I'm going to show you how you actually use a HTTP request node in order to call the Gemini deep research. Okay. So first I'll just deactivate this because it doesn't work. I'm going to just also bring this down here. Okay, so you're going to make a HTTP request. You're going to set this to post, and the URL that you're going to put in is a decently long URL, but it's going to be in the description. Alright. So you open the URL thing, and you just want to paste in this. Alright, HTTP generative language, Google APIs, v1 beta interactions key. Here's where you're going to put your API key. Authentication is none. Turn on set headers and make sure it's use fields below. And the first one is going to be content dash type. Okay, that's application slash JSON. So in the value, you'll put application slash JSON, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to turn on send body. And send body, you're going to make sure that it says using JSON. Okay, so here we're actually going to have to type in the JSON that we're going to send. So the good thing is this isn't really that difficult to do. It's very basic JSON. So you put the two curly braces and you put the closing curly braces. Enter. Here you're going to put JSON and you're going to put .stringify. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to paste this in and I'm going to put in the description. But basically, .stringify input is JSON input, which is what's coming from the edit fields node. So if I connect this, now you see it's green. If I disconnect this, it's gray. So the input's coming from there. This is the model that we had tried to use here. Deep Research Pro Preview 12 2025. That's the one that we've put here. We had tried to use it. Background is true, so it's not going to ask us to edit the research plan. It'll just go ahead and do it by itself. Okay. The only thing missing now is my API key. So I've gone ahead and I've added my API key in there, so it's going to work now. All right, here's what's going to happen though. We don't want to hammer this request node because you're gonna hit a wall because you're doing too many requests. So here's like the best way that I can recommend that we figure out what's what and we figure out when the node is done. So we'll start with a wait node here, and we're going to run for 3 minutes, which I know is pretty long, but we're going to have to do that. And then we're going to create another HTTP request node. And this is how we're going to check whether the deep research is actually done or not yet done. Okay? So open up the URL, make it full screen, and this is what you want to type in. So it's this here, JSON ID, don't worry about it. I know it's gray, but it's going to come from this. This will have the JSON ID, and that will be there. And again, your API key is obviously what you're going to fill in after key. Right there, you're going to fill your API key. Okay, now here, go put if, right? We're gonna put an if node. And what we want this node to check is the status. Okay, so you go here, you write json.status, and you're gonna put is equal to completed. So if it's equal to completed, then it's true and it means that it's done, okay? But the problem is when it's not equal to completed, what are you gonna do? When it's not equal to completed, you're gonna put another wait node here. We're gonna set this to wait for 1 minute and run back in and check again. All right, this is the full work. This is all you need to be able to call the deep research in how to call deep research in n8n. Okay, so I'm gonna run this now, so you guys can see it go. All right, so if I execute this workflow, it's gone through. It's used the API key. As you can see, it's set up a deep research right here. This is the ID I'm talking about. And it's now checking on this. What's it checking on? Teach me everything about Cloudbot. That was the input that we pasted here in this set field. Now it's going to do a wait node. It's going to wait 3 minutes before it actually checks whether it's completed or not. Because if we check too many times, or if we call the HTTP request too many times, we're going to hit a firewall of too many requests. So let's wait. And I'll speed up this. Okay, so as you can see, there it is, it's done. So if I look at this if node here, define a true branch where we have everything, you know, already ready and everything. We can find the text, right? So the text is gonna be obviously the output. So let's just go ahead and filter that out. So you can see it says complete. You can, okay, cut that out. All right, so you can see it says completed now. Now if we go look here and we go to output, okay, so as you can see, it's now fully completed. And so if we just want to pull out what the actual text is, we'll go here, we'll make a set node. Okay, we're going to call it, this is the actual report from the deep research. And this is what it is. Comprehensive report on Cloudbot, key points, introduction. Look, this is the entire deep research. So it's finally done. And all we did was here we got the output 0.text from the if node. Now, obviously, if you wanted to, you know, scale this up to something, you could very easily do that. But this was pretty much just a way of showing you guys how to actually do it. So if you were going to scale it up, I'd recommend you just attach some flow like this to it. And what this will do is it will take all of this text, it will make it into a file, it will upload that file to Google Drive, and it'll put the link in the Google Sheet for you to look at. For you to be able to find the deep research report. So this is something that I already have happening. It happens a lot on a very daily basis, really. So you can see it does stuff like this. It just takes the report, puts it into Google Drive, and it puts a link here for you. So yeah, you could do it like this. But anyways, basically this first part here, this is how you actually are able to run a deep research in n8n. See you in the next one.